Christian, take it from here whenever he's ready.
All right, so it's going to be audio recording, then it's going to be video recording, and then you just let us know, my man. All right, we're good to go. It's not every day you know someone who comes from nothing and builds themselves up to become something. But our guest today is just that person. From performing in drama class in high school to now performing in venues and arenas, he just may become the next Slim Shady.
What?
What's going on, guys? My name is Christian Bandera. Welcome to the podcast. And across from me is my co-host, Vinicius Goncalves dos Santos.
Damn, you had to go with the full name.
Yes, sir.
The full name.
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
How are you? How was your day?
It was a good day. It was a cold day.
Yeah, it's freezing out.
It's very, very cold. We live in New England, and our guest knows that too well because
Oh, yeah.
we actually know him real well.
Yeah.
We actually went to school with him, even if he doesn't remember because of certain substances.
little disadvantage.
Yes. But Vinicius, would you like to introduce everyone to our guest this evening?
Yeah, so, like you said, we went to school with him, and he's a local artist here in Peabody, and he's making waves because, he's getting the attention of a lot of people, including myself, which is why we're here right now, right? Man, I mean, dope artist. I was listening to him actually on the way here. I'm in love with a lot of the songs right off the bat. So, I mean, little to no introduction. The man himself, Justin Clancy.
Nice.
Thanks for being here, bro. For real.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you.
That was like really well said, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Did you like write that down, or is that just all freestyled?
Well, let's just say
A mix.
a mix.
It was good. It
Let's
was
just
good
say a
though.
mix.
That was cool.
Well,
Like,
remember,
hype me up.
Well, so this is perfect. We'll get into the podcast with this because, like, the audience probably wants to know how we know you. So I know you because we went to high school together, and you were in improv and drama class with me.
Yeah.
You don't remember, but
Yeah, it's a little spotty.
yeah, you don't remember
spotty.
too well, but
For
I
sure.
remember. And you were on stage a couple of times doing your little performances and everything. And the girls loved you, man.
Did
They
they?
did.
Whoa.
He's like, this is news to me.
That's
What?
crazy. All the theater girls?
Yeah, of course.
Dang.
Of course.
You missed out.
Yeah, dude.
I missed out,
Yeah,
dude.
you missed out,
I
man.
missed out. I ditched the theater girls for the alt girls with the septum rings that will cheat on you.
I know, man.
Fucked
I know.
up, dude.
I know. I saw you with them. I get it. I know.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's how I know you. We were in improv, and that's how I got relatively good at this.
That's so cool. I remember I used to like try out for the school plays and stuff
Yeah.
just to see if I could land the part. Because I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to be a theater kid because I always felt like I was too like edgy for the theater kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I would go and I'd see if I could land the part. And then when I did, I just wouldn't go back ever again because I was like so embarrassed of what people would think of me and stuff. But I remember enjoying that class.
With Mr. Carey.
Yeah, I remember one thing specifically. I did the monologue from American Beauty,
I think I remember this.
the end scene
Yes.
when he dies. Yep, that was my jam.
Damn, man. That was some good
I
times.
do remember that. I don't remember much else, but
That's
I do
okay.
remember that.
That's okay.
It's okay if you don't remember Christian either, because he looked a lot different back in the day.
Really?
Yeah,
Hair was on top of my head.
Yeah, flip his hair,
Pull up
right?
the
Like the
receipts.
beard was up here, and then like
I
there
need
was
the
nothing
receipts.
at the bottom.
I need the receipts.
Oh, bro, freaking yeah! I got like pictures.
You're older, right?
I'm much older.
Okay.
Wait, hold you, 27, right?
Nah, 29.
Oh, dude, you're the same age as me.
Really?
But didn't you graduate 2013?
I didn't graduate.
Could have sworn you graduated.
That's why it was like all high school was such a blur because I was there for like freshman, sophomore, and then I dropped out junior year.
Gotcha.
And never looked back again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't anything too.
Yeah.
I didn't miss much.
Yeah,
No,
you really
I didn't miss
didn't.
much.
You
No.
really didn't.
Mm-mm.
But it is what it is,
Right, right.
How do you know him?
bro. Just from seeing around in school,
Oh.
and then obviously like I knew that he did music, so like word gets around,
Of
you
course.
know. I don't. Do you remember a guy named like Apollo Knox or something?
Yeah, Alec. Yeah.
I never knew his actual name. I just went to a party once, saw him there, and he was like freestyling, and so I kind of knew a little bit of like the local, like
Right.
rap / artist scene a little bit. So I knew of you, and obviously we
Sick.
went to the same school, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Okay, well, now we got those out of the way. Justin, so the way the podcast goes is that we like to get everyone's origin story so the audience knows where they began from. and then how they got into whatever career they got into. For you, obviously, it's music.
Yeah.
So, would you like to give the audience, since we already know basically you relatively well, would you like to give the audience a little bit of your backstory, where you came from, what you did when you went to school, how you got into music, that kind of stuff?
For sure. So I mean, like, growing up, music was always like a vehicle for me. Like, it was like an escape mechanism. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Like, you're just born and you just fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So like, some of my earliest memories revolved around like writing or singing or just writing poetry, just something centered around the creative process. So I guess like I'll start off like, I grew up in Peabody. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. My father wound up moving to Manchester, New Hampshire, so I was in between on weekends every now and then. And yeah, like, the first song I ever wrote, I was like 8 years old. It was in like a little Harry Potter notebook. And it was actually the first song I ever wrote when I was a kid was about like my dad going to prison, So immediately it was like therapeutic for me, the process, the creative process, the writing process. It was a way for me to like get those feelings out and put them on paper. And I really resonated with like other artists that kind of did the same, that were like very open about their struggles with mental health, or like very like literal with what was going on in their lives. And I really appreciated that. So I kind of wanted to mirror it. And that's just been like something that's served me ever since, you know what I mean? So yeah, growing up, it was really weird. There's like a lot of like mental illness and like a lot of addiction and stuff like that. And, I was plagued by all of that, but all while that was going on, I was still writing about it and I was still putting it out there. And little by little, it's kind of been like a brick by brick process to kind of build like a fan base that revolves around people that feel the same way that I feel. Very similar to like how I was drawn to those artists growing up. Now I'm one of those artists that these guys are drawn to. So it's been like a full circle thing. And I would say like the past 18 months to 2 years, it's really been fruitful. And I'm like finally seeing like the fruits of my labor and like, going on tour and things like that. And pretty much just like all the shit that I said that I was going to do when I grew up and everyone thought that I was crazy for, like I'm actually fucking doing, So it feels good.
Definitely.
That must be a really good feeling.
Yeah, oh yeah. I try not to get too caught up in like the specifics because it fucking trips me out. You know what I mean? Like
what exactly?
I don't know, man. Like, I think one of like the biggest like holy shit moments was probably I was as far west as you can possibly get in Canada, pretty much. I think. Don't quote my geography. I fucking suck at that. But it was out there, dude. It was Victoria Island in British Columbia.
Yep, I know where that is.
Just far as fuck. And I'm walking down the street, and somebody recognized me and knew my music. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And then it happened again. Because I had a show there that night. And it just, like, trips me out. I'm just like, dude, I'm, like, just some fucking kid from Peabody, you know what I mean? I was just some degenerate smoking cigarettes in the fucking stairwell of Peabody High, all fucked up. And now, like, here I am, like, in the middle, in this beautiful island, you know what I mean? Far, far away from home. And people know who I am and know my music. And it was just a super trip. And, like, things like that happen often, and like seeing people like tattoo lyrics on them and like tattoo my logos and like my autograph, and it's just like fucking trippy. But like I said, I try not to think too much about it, because it's kind of a paradox. You get stuck in that and it just kind of fucking crazy in your head. So I just focus on the creative process, and then everything else is a plus. It's all subjective.
Definitely.
Wow.
So, in high school, I know we talked about you did a little bit of some drugs because you didn't, remember a lot of it.
Hell yeah, I don't remember shit in high school.
What kind of drugs did you do?
Fucking all of them, dude.
Are you serious?
The worst kinds. I've done everything except smoke crack.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
And like that includes meth, but it was by accident. I don't know if y'all ever did Molly, but in like 2012, 2013, it was just Molly.
Mm-hmm.
It was really just meth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I never did that on purpose. But everything else was like very purposeful.
In the back stairwell over at Peabody High?
Nah, it took me to some sketchier places, dude.
Yeah, I can
Some
imagine.
way sketchier places,
I can imagine.
for sure.
Do you think that this drug use helped you with your music?
Hell no.
No, not at all.
But I will say that the drugs saved my life.
How so?
I'm a firm believer that I probably would have killed myself if it wasn't for drugs.
Really?
They served the purpose that they needed to serve until they didn't.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, anybody that's dealt with addiction and dealt with drug abuse and also have dealt with like mental illness and stuff, they'll tell you the same thing. You know, they worked until they didn't. They served the exact purpose that I wanted them to, and did exactly what I needed them to until it stopped.
What was that stopping point?
The
Like-
stopping part was it wasn't working anymore. Like, no matter how much I did and no matter how much I put into my body, like, I was an intravenous drug user. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
so no matter how much I did and how much I put in my body, it would not alter anything anymore.
How did you
So,
get into the drugs, Justin?
So it was kind of like a slow progression into it. I didn't wake up one day and I'm like, yo, I wanna shoot dope. You know what I mean? There's no way in hell I could have possibly imagined that happening. You know, and looking back, it's like, who the fuck was that? That's insane. Like, I would never. I don't even take Tylenol. You know what I mean? But it was one of those things, like, I started off really young, like smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, things like that. And I was like 11, 12 years old, getting stoned and smoking and drinking and experimenting with pills and shit that I would find and steal from my mom, your mom, whoever. And what had happened was I knew that I liked this certain kind of medication. And I had to get surgery. When I was a kid, I had chronic kidney stones, which is like the most painful shit in the fucking world. And if anybody's had kidney stones and you're a man, you know you feel that in your nuts. Like, it felt like a pit bull was just...
Thank God I have it. Man. Thank God I have it.
Right. Dude, drink water.
Drink lots of water.
Seriously,
Oh, no.
drink water, man. Like, watch your sodium and calcium intakes, and because that shit'll fuck you up.
I bet.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, I've heard nothing good about it.
So I wound up going through that and like getting surgery done. And this is a really good example of like how the healthcare field at the time treated opiate addiction. So here I am, 16 years old, 17 years old, and they prescribed me this medication because of my surgeries, and I was on it for a prolonged period of time, right? Now, like I said, prior to the surgeries, I already had a taste for this specific substance, but I didn't do it regularly until I got prescribed it. So I was on Percocet for like 3 to 5 months, something like that, undergoing these extremely painful surgeries and being bedridden and stuff like that. And then one day I went to the doctors and they were like, yeah, we're not going to refill your prescription. They were like, good luck. So I didn't know what like withdrawals were until then. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, okay, you should be good now. Like, we just prescribed this teenager Percocets for months and months, and we're just going to ixnay it. You know? And I had no idea the dangers around that. So what happens when you're taking medication for pain and you get addicted to that medication is it's something called shadow pain, or phantom pain, I mean. Yeah. So I would still feel the pain in my nuts. You know what I mean? When it wasn't real, but my brain tricked me into thinking I was still in pain, and the only thing that I knew to treat that pain was that medication that I could no longer get because I was no longer being prescribed it. So as a result, I had to go on the street and find that shit. And then down the rabbit hole I went, you know?
Gotcha.
And it was just one thing after another to where it's like, now I'm getting really sick without it. Like, I'm waking up and I'm throwing up because I don't have it. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on with me, you know? And I'm like, holy shit, am I addicted to pills? And then one day I showed up to the pill place and they couldn't get me any more pills, but they had this alternative substance that was cheaper and just like the pills. And I was sick, and that's all I could get at the time. So I did that. And then, you know, ways and means, dude.
Wow.
Dude, wow.
down the rabbit hole.
Literally. And then it was just a spiral effect.
And it was just a spiral. And I knew what I was doing wasn't meant for me. You know, because at this time I had fans. I had music out. I had music videos with tens of thousands of views. You know, like I had done the shows. I had done the interviews, photo shoots, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had a manager. I wound up robbing my manager.
Really?
You know?
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad, and I couldn't control it. And I would still try and go to the studio, and my performances started to be lackluster, and my output started to be affected by it. And slowly but surely, it was like a fucking toilet bowl, you know? And I'm just watching the shit all flush down the drain, and there's nothing I can do about it except all I know how to do, which was more, you know, more drugs. And, you know, I was in and out for so long, and like in and out of these treatment centers, and like getting arrested, going to jail, like literally watching my life deteriorate in front of my eyes. So it got to the point where I was 19. I was looking at 2.5 years in Middleton, right? And I'd already been to Middleton, and I don't fit the height and weight requirements for jail. That shit sucks, right? Jail's fucking trash. And my whole life was ruined as far as I was concerned. You know, on paper, I'm a high school dropout. My highest grade completed is 10th, right? My employment history is spotty because I would go and I'd get these shitty little jobs. I remember I would do door-to-door sales. Like, that was my main hustle when I dropped out of high school, you know?
Like Jordan Belfort?
Yeah. Yeah, except like, yeah. And this was important, though, and we can get back to it later. The door-to-door sales was very important, and I'm glad that I did that. But at the time, it was like, you know, I'm 17 years old, 18 years old. I weigh 90 pounds soaking wet. I'm strung out. I'm knocking at your door to sell you some fucking siding. Are you gonna bite?
Wait, to sell what?
Siding.
Siding?
And roofs.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah. So like my job, I have another crazy one too. Yeah, dude. Like the places you'll go. You know what I mean? So I was selling like home exterior improvement, right? And I would go to these people's houses, and I would just make them feel like shit about their house. You know, I was trained to tell them that their roof is about to fucking cave in, and it's disgusting. Your house is disgusting. And I did that. I got fired from that. I would try to do the thing, and I would just keep getting fired. So like, I just turned into a full-time thief, criminal, whatever. It was bad. But yeah, so like I said, it got to the point, and excuse me if I'm raving, but I know that we're gonna get there, so I'm just gonna speed run this shit.
Yeah, no worries, man.
It got to the point where on paper I was nothing, I had nothing, and I figured I was gonna die an addict anyways, and you know, I was like in the bathroom hanging myself. You know, it was the last time I said, God, please help me. Nobody came. There was no fucking lightning bolt or anything like that. I did my drug, and nothing happened. So I was hanging myself. It's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and my mother gets a call from the other room saying that I'm going to get scholarshiped into a program. Now, a scholarship is something that allows somebody to go to long-term treatment who might not have the funds necessary to do so. And this scholarship just happened to be from Chris Herron, the ex-Celtics player, who is in recovery. So yeah, it was like a white light moment, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because I could never get into treatment long term, and you know, this was happening simultaneously as I'm like, you know, choosing to end my life in the next room,
Damn.
all at the same time.
Dude, that was a good sign right there. That was a sign.
I know.
Yeah, yep. So I knew, I was like, okay, like that's fucking trippy. I was like, I'm just gonna try it. You know, and I went into treatment on December 20th, 2013, and the next day, December 21st, is the first day clean, and it's been over 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
You were
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, it's been over a decade now.
You were 19 at the time.
Yep.
Yep, I remember. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
So I never had a legal drink I've never had a legal weed, which is wild.
Yeah.
You know, because when I was still getting high, like that shit was like still illegal, which is insane. You know, now you can get stoned in fucking Target. And motherfuckers don't even know. But I used to hide in the woods with Arizona cans smoking out of them bitches, like hiding from the cops.
Arizona.
But yeah, man. So it's been a ride for sure. It's been a trip.
Now, what helped you besides obviously rehab? Was it something in rehab that helped you with your addiction to, you know, get help and obviously be sober for 10 years?
It was the realization that I deserved more. You know, like I was selling myself short for so long. And I knew that like there was something that I could do. And obviously it's fucking music. And like I needed something to hold on to. You know what I mean? I needed something to like give me that hope, and like it was music for me, you know, and that's like what really helped me. And also what else helped me was like my predecessors, you know, like people that have gone through the shits and people that have time and like understand like what it's like to be in the throes of addiction and then be in recovery, you know. But outside of that, dude, it was a lot of self-discovery. It was a lot of reflection. It was a lot of like rebuilding who I was. Like when I first got clean, I didn't even know, Justin didn't even know what Justin liked to wear, you know, like Justin didn't even know what Justin liked to eat. And I say it in a third person perspective because like I was so out of touch with myself that I didn't even know who Justin was, you know? So it was just like finding who I am as a person and waiting for like the Rubik's Cube to fucking click. You know what I'm saying? And it's still that, you know, it's still that as an artist, as a human, like I'm growing every single day. I'm waiting for that fucking Rubik's Cube, you know what I'm saying? But there's different levels to the Rubik's Cube, if that makes sense.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, man. I just made that shit up. You like it?
Yeah, I did. Well, I hope so. I hope you're good at improv and making stuff up. I hope so.
It's the artist's brain.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So like, yeah. I mean, it's been a crazy process, and like every day I grow into myself more.
Nice, man. So, can you take us of the process of you making music and then you starting to get big? When did that start happening?
Oh man. So like one of the first things I did when I got out of treatment, when I got out of rehab, was like, you know, I moved into a halfway house. 2.5, I was in Cape Cod, right? I'm a fucking North Shore kid. Like, this is all I know. Anything south of like Quincy is like fucking Dragonland as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? And this was way the fuck down there. It was in Falmouth, right? Yeah. So I moved down there and I was like, all right, I'm going to get it fucking started. Like, I'm going to pick up where I left off. And I was just like, I was in a fucking basement sharing a tiny-ass room, probably half the size of this, with another dude. It was me, him. We had a little TV in there and a bag of potatoes underneath the fucking bed, right? I don't know why the bag of potatoes, but there was a bag of potatoes in there for real. Whatever. And I would go on YouTube and I would find beats and I just start writing. And I would write. And I would write. And then I finally got booked for a show when I had about 2 or 3 months clean. And it was opening up for fucking Cassidy in Rhode Island. In Warwick, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So, that shit was like a fucking fever dream, dude. Like, so I took all my homies from the halfway house and I'm like, we're going to Rhode Island, man. And like, we all went. One of them got arrested because he had an ankle monitor on. And he wasn't supposed to leave the state. And there was like a whole debacle around that. And I wasn't supposed to leave the state either. I was also on probation. But like, yeah, man, I went and I did it, and I didn't make the curfew back home at the halfway house, and I wound up getting kicked out and had to find a new place. But it was worth it because I was back at it. I was doing it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kept that like level of tenacity throughout, you know? I'm just like, I'm doing it. The results are subjective because really at the end of the day, I'm supposed to be fucking dead.
Yeah.
Like I've done shots of dope and I've fallen asleep and woke up 8 hours in the same position with that shit still in my arm, and I couldn't walk. You're going to tell me that I'm not supposed to be dead? You're going to tell me that there isn't some sort of divine force keeping me here for a fucking reason? Come on. So I kept doing it, and I kept doing it over and over and over again. And as you know, you guys are gym guys, right?
Yeah.
You go to the gym, it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to get big overnight. You got to keep doing that shit over and over again for results. And there will always be results because it's an energy thing. You put a certain amount of energy into something, you're going to get that shit back tenfold, you know? And I really didn't start getting big and picking up traction until I like switched my sound up and started singing and started doing something different.
So you were rapping first, and then you started singing.
For sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you still rap, or is it just solely like singing?
I mean, it's like a mix, but mostly sing. Like I sing, I play. I taught myself guitar.
Nice.
I taught myself piano.
Nice, man.
Yeah, like I tour with a whole band, whole live band.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about those early days of when you started switching up your style. That was probably around your early 20s, right?
Yeah, that was yeah. I think I was like 21.
Gotcha.
22, and you know, I'll never forget it. So I went into the studio with my producer Knox, right, NOX, and I get there, and you know, maybe 2 weeks prior, I laid down like one of the worst fucking songs I've ever made in my life, and I'm just like rapping really hard, and I don't know what the fuck I was trying to be. I was trying to be like a fucking Vinny Paz, fucking, I don't fucking know, dude. It was super aggressive, like white dude yell rapping at you, which is cool for like a lot of people, but not for me. You know what I'm saying? And I went there, and I was like, you know, like I wanted to try something different, and he started playing me this beat. We made this beat on the spot, and it was this song called TV Dinner, and I had never sang on a record before, and I sang the hook, and it just felt right. You know what I'm saying? But also I second guessed myself, and I wanted him to delete the song, or you know, maybe start up a new idea. But by the time I got there, the song was already finished. We made it all in one sitting, and then the computer deleted all the rest of the files, so we had one file of it. So I couldn't backtrack, I couldn't change. It was just, that's just how it was.
Yeah.
And it was all laid out for me. It was all laid out perfectly. Like everything just aligned up to that moment. And I took it and I ran with it, and I started allowing myself to shed skin as necessary and change. Like I'm the type of dude, like as an artist and as a human, I'm like a fucking lizard. Like I shed my skin every 9 months. You know, every 6 to 9 months, I shed my skin and I grow into a newer version of me. You know, it's never that linear. Sometimes I take steps backwards, but it's still different, you know?
So it's like maturing.
Yeah, something like that. Except I'm still going to look like a baby forever.
That's okay, I mean? Man. It's all right.
But, yeah. And I took it and I ran with it, and I started just doing whatever I could to shift the creative process. Like I said, I taught myself how to play piano. And then I taught myself how to play guitar, while teaching myself how to sing, and then teaching myself a different style of writing. And, you know, just always learning and learning and learning and learning, and never perfecting, because there's no such thing. You know, so I'm in the business of growth. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's just been a fucking wild ride. And like I said, you know, the past 2 years has been insane. I've probably, in the past 2 years, I've probably done something like 90 shows in 2 different countries and played for like over fucking altogether like 50 to 60,000 people.
Bro, that's insane, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Easily.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, before we get into like the big stuff, how hard and how long did it take to get to that point where you started getting big? Like from when you got out of rehab and you went to that Warwick, Rhode Island show, how long after that?
Oh, man.
Because you probably had to grind a bunch.
You have no idea.
In the music industry, you have to grind.
You have no idea. I've done it, like I said, I've done it all brick by brick.
Yeah.
No cheat codes necessary. And I say that because at any point in time, I could get in front of a fucking tripod and I could sing I could rap a little song about how I used to fucking shoot dope. And it would probably go viral. But that's such a low-hanging fucking fruit. Like, I want to be an artist. I don't want to be a flash in the pan. If I have to take fucking 10 years to build something that's going to keep me employed by myself for the next 20 to 30, I'm going to do that shit. I'm not in the business of doing a little song and fucking dance for a momentary lapse of good job. And then 9 months later, everybody's fucking gone, you know? So it's taken a long ass time, dude. And I've built this shit up brick by brick, as any business owner would do. You know what I'm saying? And it started out doing these shitty little shows at these bar and grills, right? And I started out as an opener. And first I was the first artist up before the headliner. And then it was the second. Then it was the third. And then I was co-headlining. And then I was fucking, you know, headlining shows in Boston, selling 550 fucking tickets and selling out meet and greets. And people coming and traveling from all over the place just to come and see me in my city and, like, you know, hang out and talk and see me live. You know, it started out from fucking nothing. I remember the first show I ever did, it was at Kevin's Bar and Grill in Lynn. And I was 16 years old. And there was like 5 people there. One of them including my mom, who was drunk. And I don't blame her, because I would have gotten drunk at that shit show too. You know, but it hasn't been an easy process. As I said before, nothing is linear. But it's been very gratifying.
Good.
You know?
Damn, that's tough. Imagine you're doing a show and like 4 people show up.
Your mom's one of them.
And your mom's.
That's the biggest supporter, though.
Yeah.
That you gotta have some balls to just keep going.
You have to,
You
bro.
know?
You have to. You have to.
That's tough.
Because if you quit, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time. That's what it is. If you quit, you're a bitch. Like, you knew going into this what the fuck was gonna happen. This game is gonna try and kill you. These people are gonna eat you alive. You're gonna tell me I lived in Los Angeles for 2 years. There are people out there, literally, their sole purpose is to fucking eat you alive. You know what I mean? This game is not for the faint of heart. And not even the music industry, but the business owning industry. Like, if you're gonna own your own business, if you're gonna start your own thing, you're gonna wanna fucking quit. You're gonna wanna fucking cry. You're gonna feel like nothing that you're doing is working, right? You're gonna feel like you're not good enough. You're gonna compare yourself to somebody that's way bigger, and it's gonna eat you alive. You're gonna lose relationships, lose friends, right? Romantic, platonic, whatever it may be. You're gonna be distant, but it's gonna be worth it. However, if you quit, you're a fucking bitch. Period.
Love that.
You can't fucking quit. You know how many times I wanted to quit? You know how many times, like, I've looked out into the crowd and seen nobody, but I still had to go and I still had to play. It's getting the fucking reps in. You still got to get your reps in. Period.
Man, Justin.
I like the passion. There,
Yeah,
dude.
you might as well be a motivational speaker now as well.
Bro.
I need a newer Mercedes for that.
That
I need a newer model.
Yeah.
That's fair. But that's something you should definitely get into one of these days, because that was really passionate. I really liked it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very empowering.
But
very
it's-
much-
Because that hits home.
true.
It hits
Does.
home for us.
It's true. Like, you
Yeah,
guys are business
100%.
owners. You know.
100%.
You know there's going to be long nights. There's going to be even longer days. There's going to be no money. You're going to be in the fucking red forever. Forever. Until one day you're not.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just going to keep going and keep going. You're trying to build a well-oiled machine, and it's not going to be well-oiled when you first fucking build it, you know?
Right.
It takes that. Because I started this shit all by my fucking self. All by my fucking self. And then I started finding my tribe. I started finding my brothers. I started finding my band that I play with that I love. Found my producer. Found my team, my management, my fucking, my video people, my photo people. They felt the energy, so they came and they fuck with me, and they stayed. And now it's, okay, we're at this, and I'm not alone anymore, and we're building it, and we keep building it. It keeps getting fucking bigger, and it keeps getting bigger, because I'll tell you what, I remember every single time I played to no crowd. I remember every single time I got made fun of. I remember going to Peabody High and passing out mixtapes. I don't remember much from those days, but I remember this. I passed out CDs at Peabody High, and they turned into fucking Frisbees. And they were in toilets, and they were in trashes. I remember that shit. Now you can do one of two things. You can either let it eat you alive and kill you and make you stop, or you can use that as a motivator to make sure that you never fucking feel that way ever again. And that's what I've done, because I remember how it feels. I never want to feel like that again, ever. I'll fucking die trying not to.
Dude, he's firing me up.
Damn.
Bro,
right.
you guys got me. I'm halfway through cold brew number 2 today, dude. I'm on a fucking roll.
Man,
Period.
Dude,
Yeah, he's
that's hell, dude, spitting fire.
He's cooking. He's
Period.
spitting. Where's the pan at? Where's the pan?
That's it, bro.
Still have the.
He's cooking.
Yeah.
He's cooking right
That's
here.
it.
No, but that's 100% like facts, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's, and a lot of people don't understand that when they get into certain businesses. They don't.
No.
They'll stop. You know, this the second it gets uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But that's today too. Like that's today's generation. Everybody's a little bit on the softer side, and they can't really handle the uncomfortable. Everybody wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to be pampered.
Fuck
all that
no.
shit. Exactly.
You're not going to be comfortable.
Mhm.
You're not. You're going to be fucking uncomfortable. Period. Dude, you're going to have to take steps back. I was living at home with my mom, right? I moved back to LA. I was fucking fat. I had no bread. I had no car. I had no job. Nobody was checking for me, right? I had shot my album, right, to every single label in the world. They all said no, right? I was living with my mom. And slowly but surely, you know, I made it work, because I knew that there was no way I wasn't going to make it work, you know. And that was the Ugly Parts EP, and I put that out, and that got fucking hundreds of thousands, if not, I don't know what it's at now, but definitely close to a fucking million, you know what I mean, streams. And then people were getting lyrics from that shit tattooed on them, and you know, I sold out the release party at the Middle East downstairs. And then it was like, okay, now what? Well, now I'm gonna go on my own fucking tour, you know. But I was doing this, like I said, all while I was living with my mom and my grandmom in the same house that I tried to end my life in the same house that I had all that fucking trauma in, because I knew that I had to make these sacrifices in order for it to come to fruition one day. I had to take it. I had to take these L's. You know how hard it is going and playing a show for fucking 1,500 people in a different country, and then going back home and having to listen to your grandmother yell about how you forgot to take out the trash. You know how fucking different that is? But then, like, I knew it would pay off, and I knew it would. And it didn't matter how much paper I touched in those years, because it all went back into the business. Because I knew it wasn't ready. And like now, like I'm finally, like you saw, like I pulled up in a fucking Benz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I pulled up in a fucking Benz, and like I'm moving into this giant house in West Roxbury, all to my fucking self. You know? And this was after years of just L. Eating that. I'm talking like getting cheated on, getting gaslit, getting manipulated, losing friends, losing people you fucking love, people dying. Fuck no, that shit ain't gonna stop me, dude. Fuck that.
Damn.
That's it.
Hell yeah, man.
That's it. They can suck my dick. Fuck it. Anybody that tried to fucking down me, dude.
I respect it, man.
That's it.
I swear I respect it. I see your grind, because now you're big. And I remember in high school, you know.
What's that like? What's that like now?
I'm still the same dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't even talk about that shit.
Really?
The only time I ever talk about my music and like what's going on is like on platforms like this, or like during interviews. 9 times out of 10, like I'm just kicking it with my homies and just bullshitting and like going and like doing stuff. I spend a lot of time alone too. Like I really like going to the movies alone. Like I try and like refine my diet, you know, like not just like what I eat, but like what I
Just consuming
what I consume
in different
yeah
things, right? Not just
yeah
food.
And that's like you know, what I watch, what I listen to, and then the energy I consume. So like who I surround myself with. But like, dude, I'm a fucking normal guy. You know what I mean? I just do very normal shit, except when I go to the studio, or I go to things like this, or like, you know, I'll go on tour. Like that's just me. But really, it's, you know, I get imposter syndrome a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like it's weird as fuck. So that's why I try not to think too much about it.
Yeah.
And that's something I would love to get into more, is you going on tour and what you do outside of music as well, and obviously with music. But first, we want to take a quick break and thank our sponsors for the video. So, everyone, we want to thank our sponsors for this video. And we first want to thank the BACP group. Alex is not here, but Richard is here taking over for Alex while Alex is away for the weekend. So without Richard and Alex and Derek, we would not be able to do this podcast. So hit them up if you ever want to do your own podcast, a video shoot, or a photography shoot. These guys are second to none. These guys have had our backs since day one. So thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much for the BACP group. We really appreciate it. We also want to thank Nutrimeals. Sometimes we get really busy as business owners and we can't always cook our meals. So with Nutrimeals, they make it so much easier for us to do it. They take the hassle out of all of it. You just go online, you put in your order, and they can deliver it to you. Or you can get it at a different drop-off location that's all over the U.S. They have so many drop-off locations, even in like the bumfuck nowhere of West Mass, like my girlfriend is. They literally have a freaking location there, which is absolutely insane. So, everyone, Nutrimeals, they have so many options. Gluten-free, low sodium, high protein. So many options, so good for you. Guys, use KMF40 at checkout for 40% off your first order. And if you're a member at KMF Strong, you get 5% off every order added on if you're a member at KMF Strong for life. And there we go. That was it.
Back to it.
Back to it.
Nice.
So let's talk about the tour then. What's it like being on tour?
Depends on the day.
Depends.
Nah, it's like the best. It's like the best fucking summer camp ever.
So do you do the whole tour bus, the whole thing?
Yeah, I get a Sprinter van and I fill it up with my team.
That's dope.
So it's like I'll get a Sprinter van and I'll fill it up with my band, and then I'll usually bring like an extra person, sometimes for merch, sometimes for content, sometimes for both, and we'll just pack up in that fucking van and we'll just thug it out, dude.
That's probably fun as hell.
I've seen America. I've seen all of America from here to LA and back probably 6 times in the past year, at least 18 months.
Damn.
I've seen all of it. I've been everywhere.
You're just mostly on the road then.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, I've done a shit ton of shows, and like, it's my favorite thing in the world. Like, the past year and a half, like I was doing a shit ton of touring with like Chris Webby and like Echo and all those guys. So, we would hit the road together, and some of these dates were crazy. Like the Canada run that we did the Northwest and we did Canada, and I think it was like 23 shows in 28 days. So just boom, 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 hitting it. And then I did the Midwest just a couple weeks ago. And then, dude, I don't even know. It all blends, right? But it's, I never get tired of, like, getting on stage and, like, seeing it and, like, people knowing the words and, like, hearing the fucking crowd sing my words. Like, being in Milwaukee, Like, Milwaukee, dude. And, like, hearing, like, the crowd singing my lyrics. Or, like, I remember I was in Milwaukee and somebody brought a fucking billboard with, like, the name of my song on it. Like, please play this song. Like, holding up the fucking poster. And I'm like, Jesus.
That's awesome.
Like, that's insane.
That must be so cool.
It's a trip. And, like, signing autographs and taking pictures and stuff like that. It's amazing. And here's the thing, though. Like, it's so easy to, like, I see motherfuckers get caught up in that, and it's so easy to get wrapped up in a place of ego, because all that shit could be gone in a second. Mm-hmm. You cannot take fans and moments like that for granted, right? Like, yes, it's cool. Yes, it's amazing. But also keep in mind, it could all be gone tomorrow. So I'm not going to act like I'm better than just because I'm doing these things, And it just goes back to, like, not thinking too much about it.
Right.
You know, just like, okay, I'm gonna go do this thing, and then I'm gonna like go home and watch this fucking documentary. You know.
Watch some cartoons or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep yourself humbled, you know.
That's
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's
do you
it.
have, Do you have any shows planned like soon or anything like that?
I got this one. I'm just booked for festivals right now in the
Okay.
spring. You know,
Nice.
like I'm having like some talks about like some more touring, but right now I'm in the studio. So I hit the studio hard, man. So it's like week on, week off, week on, week off, like every single day, several hours a day. You know, so I be in there like crazy. I'm gonna have a beard like you by the time I'm done with that shit.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah, man.
Yeah.
What inspires you to like write certain songs? Is it just like life experiences, things like that, or can you just come up with something random right off the top of the head?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
Like I always go like this. You know what I mean? Like it comes from like a different place. Like my God is creation. I don't really come from a religious background or anything like that. I was never introduced to a formal religion.
I got you though.
So for me, God is creation. Because how else are you gonna, like, 3 hours ago there was just air in the studio, and now we have chords, we have melodies, we have notes, we have ideas, and I'm singing, and like these words, they just came into my head. Because everything that I always make on the spot. You know, there's no like, when I'm there, I'm there. When I'm outside of the studio, so like when I'm just living my normal life, I like to think of it as like a net, right? Like I take this net, like a big old fishing net, and I'm just getting ideas, you know, and I'm drawing inspiration. It could be good things, it could be painful things from the past, present, future, things from fucking Joe Schmo's life over there, you know what I mean? And then I get in the studio and boop, I just empty that shit. And that's when it all comes out, dude. And it's just all right there. I rarely ever write anywhere other than the studio unless I'm just doing little doodles. Like I like to write like poetry and shit like that, but not like songs outside the studio. It's
Gotcha.
rare.
Definitely.
Damn, we gotta catch a show.
Yeah, we gotta catch a show now.
You gotta, dude.
Yeah. Damn.
So, who's the biggest name that you've collabed with or you've toured with, or did a show for, like opened for?
I mean, that's about to happen in May. You know what I mean? I'm doing fucking Boston Calling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
like
awesome.
Ed Sheeran, dude.
dude, you're opening for Ed
Like
Sheeran.
that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's definitely it. But like, you know, outside of that, like I've been touring with Chris Webby, and then like we have like a bunch of records together that have like millions and millions and millions of views and streams and shit like that. And then also like, dude, I grew up listening to Atmosphere, right? I don't know if you're familiar with Atmosphere, but
No,
it's
I
like
don't.
it's like an underground legend, whatever. But this is like somebody I grew up listening to that like made me feel less alone, like mirrored my mission statement, you know? And he was like one of the people I was like heavily inspired by, like just their writing style, right? And we did a song and like it came out last year, and like he did it just off love, you know what I mean? Like he was a fan. He liked my music, so he just hopped on the record. It was very organic. And you know, that was really cool too.
That's dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there someone that inspires you now in that space?
I don't know, man. It's too many to count. I can't just
right.
pinpoint like one thing because every day is different.
Mm.
Like I don't do the same thing every day.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
like it's like a different pair of glasses every day when I wake up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, different pair of ears,
Okay.
eyes. Same shit talking mouth though.
Yeah.
Shedding your skin every 6 to 8
Yeah,
months, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Definitely. Now, how does it work when it comes to touring when you get paid? Because I have no idea how it works. So maybe you could give some insight on us and the audience on how it works for other artists and yourself.
Well, it's all different.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it all depends on like whatever you have, like whatever deal that you may have with management or the tour or whoever the booking person or the promoter is. It's all very different. You know what I mean? But as with everything, you start in green, you ain't getting paid shit. I'm lucky enough to say I've never bought onto a tour, so I've never had to come out of pocket in like, which is it's fine if that's something that you do in order to break through. I just, you know, at the time when I started touring, I just didn't have the funds necessary. But it's with every business opportunity. When you first start, you ain't getting paid shit, and then you got to prove it, and then you start getting paid. And the more you do, the more you start getting paid. And that's like how it was when I first started doing shows. You know what I mean? Actually, I digress. I paid $350 to open up for fucking Slain in Providence, Rhode Island, and there were 10 people there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And
this was in 2015.
Had to take the risk, right?
And I had to, yeah. I bought tickets. I bought tickets to sell, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, so $350. So, and then slowly but surely it was like.
But who do you pay? Do you pay like the venue people? Do you pay them?
The whoever booked the act. So it may be like it's all different. Like I said, some venues have built-in people who book, and then other times what'll happen is a promoter or like an independent entity will go through that venue and use that venue as like a vessel for them to like get their act in.
Gotcha.
So like they'll get paid or whatever. It's all very it's all different.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so like I started doing shit like that, and then slowly but surely when I started, the bigger shows, selling more tickets, then next thing you know, I'm an opener selling fucking 100 tickets, and I'm like, okay, no, I fucking proved myself. Like you got to pay up. Period.
100%. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, what do you say is the biggest misconception about the music industry?
And what do you think about it too, honestly?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to ask you that earlier and then I forgot, but now that he brought that up.
What do I think is the biggest misconception about the music industry?
Dun, 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 dun.
Huh. That's a really good question, dude. Because there's a lot of misconceptions about the music industry. I guess give me an example of a misconception that you might be familiar with.
Selling your soul.
Selling your soul. Yeah, that's a big one. Because like
your soul to the
like,
music industry. I don't know.
To give you an example, honestly, because like, look at social media right now.
Yeah.
A big one is some big NFL star who sold his soul to a big pharma company to endorse the jab.
Right.
So I'm guessing do people like sell their souls or something, or something like that, along the lines of that.
Labels and record like companies, do they own more of the artist than the artist owns themselves, type of thing? Because you hear artists talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And it's like that's why some of them are independent and whatnot. So
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
you run into things like that? Like if someone wanted to buy your label out, buy you basically.
I mean, it's happened before. I've gotten offers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you seem like the type of person that'd be like, nah, I wouldn't sell my brand for the direction they want to take it because I have a different direction to where I want to take it. Like you seem like that kind of person.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like ownership is the key. No matter what it is that you're doing, you want to retain ownership of like whatever your business is and whatever it may be. But I think the biggest misconception is like everything within the music industry is very intentional, right? Like a lot of the songs that you think just fucking blew up organically on TikTok didn't blow up organically on TikTok. You know what I mean? Or a lot of the artists that you think are writing their own songs, like, definitely aren't fucking writing
like
their own
ghostwriters and things like that?
Yeah, I know because I was one of them when I was in LA. I did a lot of ghostwriting and I did a lot of co-writing, which is fine. Whatever gets it there.
It's just
you know
part
what
of
I mean?
the game, right?
It's just part of the game, of course. But I think the biggest misconception of the music industry is the fucking music industry.
Gotcha.
It's so many different things. It's so many different things.
Then what's something you hate about it?
I mean, I would say the politics. I'd say the politics, and I'd say like they prefer. Like, there's been a major shift within the realm of A&R, artists and repertoire. They're the people that go and find the new acts, and sign the new acts. There's been a shift between, like, it's now a popularity contest rather than a quest for talent.
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
They're signing kids on TikTok that aren't even musicians. They just have a lot of followers. and they're gonna bring them into the studio. They're gonna put them in there with a bunch of writers, and they're gonna make them get a hit. And then these kids are gonna be exploited, right? And then they're gonna be kicked to the curb, and they're gonna be useless once these people have made their money. And that's why like name me like 10 legacy acts, right? When I say legacy acts, I'm talking like artists that are gonna be multi-generational because they're gonna be around for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there aren't. It's all 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Fuck off. You know, that's it.
Yeah. Do you think it's because the A&R people want more money out of it and they don't care about the actual person?
Well, not necessarily, because the A&R people can only do so much too. It's the mission of the labels themselves, you know. It's all one gigantic fucking shit show. My thing is like I try not to get too caught up in this.
So how does someone break out of that? How do you break through that?
Break through what?
All of that, for example. Like, so if the majority of the music industry, which I would think is the majority, is people like that who are just trying to make those artists have that one hit wonder, etc., exploit them, whatever. Right. How does someone as genuine as yourself that cares deeply behind your own music and the lyrics and all these things, how do you break through what's going on in the music industry to make it as you are?
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. You just got to make good music, and you got to connect with people that feel the same way that you do. Mm-hmm. I try and keep it simple.
It's a long-term play then.
Yeah, I try and keep it simple. Like, dude, I'm not a fucking content creator. Mm-hmm. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to like, you know, who can like make the coolest piece of fucking content, who can get like the funniest interview from the random person in Walmart, and you know what I mean? Like I can't do that, bro. Like I'm too old for that shit. I feel weird doing it. Like I shine when I'm in the studio, when I'm creating. I shine when I'm on stage, when I'm doing shit like that. I don't shine when I'm like trying to be silly goofy for a camera hoping that these people will fucking share it, you know? It sucks, but like you have to. It's the necessary evil as an entertainer. You have to entertain to an extent. But like I said, I try and keep it simple and just focus on the creative process and make sure that the product is good and everything else will come together. You can only hope.
Yeah. So with that being said, like what would be your goal? Like what's your goal nowadays?
My goal right now? I mean, in this exact moment, or like a long-term
in general, what
goal?
is your long-term goal? Like, who's Justin Clancy dream of being in the next 5 years from now, for example?
My long-term goal is just to find happiness and contentment within that creative space. That's it. Everything else is bonus points. Everything else is subjective. $1 million, whatever the fuck, you know? Like, that's all subjective. That's gonna come and go, but really what's gonna live on forever is like how I felt, how I made people feel, and the music that I made and I left them with. That's it. Everything else doesn't fucking matter, you know? So like my main goal right now is to get in a good creative space, make the best music that I possibly can, and do this until I die. Whatever the fuck that looks like.
So you're going to do this until you're like, what, 80?
For sure.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to do this until the day I die, for sure.
Because you love it.
Yeah.
It's your passion.
Well, it's all I know. It's all I know.
That's fair.
You know?
Definitely.
It's all I know.
And so now, since you didn't make any money when you first started and you had to grind up to right now, you're basically making enough money to support yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I'm okay, you know?
Yeah.
I also like have a job.
What do you do?
You know what I mean? I have 2 jobs.
Okay.
But they're both very supportive, and it's like they let me go on tour when I want to and like do what I need to do because I'm good at both of them, you know?
What are they?
Like I do business development for a nonprofit. So a lot of that is just like connecting like agencies between mine and other and providing people with resources like housing and like harm reduction stuff so that they can get clean and not die.
Oh, nice. Right?
So I do that. And then I also am a music teacher at the Recovery High School.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So like, you know, and I work there part-time. And like I said, you know, this is all just extra shit because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah,
You know, but like it's also passive income.
of course.
You know, but I love working with like the younger folk. You know, like that's my fucking passion.
So you could inspire them to
Mhm.
maybe be like you one day. Maybe not have to go through all those trials and tribulations with like drugs and
Right.
mental health.
Right. Well, I mean, I just like I think it's important to be the person that you needed when you were growing up. You know, I'm a big fan of like early intervention. Because who knows, this conversation that I may be having with this 16, 17-year-old kid that just did an opiate for the first time yesterday, this dialogue that he just opened up with me because he or she felt safe with me being there might shift the whole fucking paradigm of their future, you know, just by me being there. So, like, you know, it feels really good. Like I said, that shit lasts forever. How you are as a person and how you make other people feel. And also like what you create and what you leave behind. So I'm doubling down on the footprints.
You're being the change.
Yeah,
that
you are.
reminds me of that quote that's like, be the change you want to see in the
For sure. But like, you know, between that and like between the music, like I definitely live very comfortably. I'm very happy.
Awesome,
dope.
man.
I mean,
Dude,
just got a house, got the Benz.
Yeah,
hell
yeah.
yeah, man.
Rolling
And like
good.
prior to that, like I was doing music full time for 5 years, you know? So you know,
That's dope.
I'm so happy for you, man.
I can't wait to catch a
it's
show.
good. Yeah, you gotta, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Come to Boston Calling or something.
Oh,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
down. When is that?
May 24th.
May 24. Oh, we can definitely hit that.
Yeah, that shit's gonna be insane. But
That'd be sick.
I'm sure I'll have like a local show or something. I just did one recently, so
Yeah, we'll have to stay in touch. 'Cause
Definitely,
we gotta go.
Definitely,
yeah, of
definitely.
course.
Does every show have like VIP tickets or anything like that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like usually like what I'll do is I'll sell like VIP meet and greet packages, so
Oh, nice.
people will come. Usually it's before the show, and they'll like get to like take pictures with me and
Nice.
stuff, and like hang out
Oh, yeah.
and shit. I mean, we already met, so it's like.
Yeah,
But
for
like
sure.
you know, like and I've had people come from all over for that shit.
Where's the farthest someone's come to see you?
In Boston?
And just in general.
In general, yeah. Has anyone come up to you and be like, "Yeah, came from Australia just to see you"?
Huh. I gotta really think, because my Boston shows, I've had people come from like Wisconsin, Minnesota, fucking Canada,
Dude, that's still far.
just to like travel and come to see
to
me
see-
in my
that's crazy.
city. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
It's pretty dope, though.
yeah, it's cool.
Because now you're like intercontinental.
Right.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide, soon to be Mr. Worldwide.
Ooh, Mr. 305.
Mr. 305.
That's Miami.
Pitbull, yeah.
That's Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're Mr. 978, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
Mr.
like that,
978.
Mr. 978. That's
Yes,
cool.
sir.
I
Yes,
fuck
sir.
with that.
Hell yeah, man. Oh, speaking about 978, Peabody, you said you wanted to get back into the when you're doing like door calls or door sales.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think it was so awesome for you to do that?
So it was really important doing door-to-door sales because I had to grow a callus to the word no, right? I had to get used to being rejected and doors quite literally slammed in my fucking face, right? Because that's a perfect analogy for life. You know, you're going to get 20 million no's until somebody says yes, right? You're going to fail so much, so hard, so often, over and over and over and over again. And I think it's almost more important to be good at failing than good at succeeding. Because you need to know what's on the other side of the coin if shit goes awry. Because that's what really shows where people are at, is how you handle it when shit just fucking, right? Like, what do you do? Because everybody knows what they're going to do when they succeed. They're going to feel this. They're going to do that. They're going to be great, which, by the way, it doesn't really feel like that.
Right.
It doesn't. When you win, it doesn't really feel how you
kind
think
of
it's gonna
gas it
feel.
up in your own mind, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's gonna be this super amazing thing, and then you get it, you're like, oh, it wasn't. It's not.
Right. Or if you're anything like me, it's like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
I already ate it.
And
You
it's
know
like
what I
anything,
mean?
right? Like a new
Yeah.
iPhone comes out, you're dying to get it. You get the iPhone for the first 2 days. It's like, oh, this thing is sick, and then you're like, oh, fuck, whatever.
But it's how much does it sting when you lose? Do you like the sting? Right? Like, are you used to this? Are you going to be able to move forward after this? Right? And that's what really separates the people that are in it as a fucking cute little hobby and the people that are in it for life, like some lifers, you know? So that's why door-to-door sales was so fucking important, because I literally have gotten guns pulled on me just for knocking on people's doors and trying to sell them a new roof. New Hampshire's a trip.
My man's trying to help him with the roof, and then
Yes.
he gets drawn at.
Yeah. Like all of that shit over and over and over again.
Damn.
So when it came time to hear the word, no, when it came to the music business, the music industry, I said, okay, on to the next.
Oh yeah.
What now?
That's a good mentality. I mean, you've definitely built the callus, and
Mhm.
you've definitely developed like character through all of that. So
Thank
that's
you.
dope.
Yeah, man.
Damn. Now I can't wait for Boston Calling.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Awesome. Do you have any closing notes, Vinny, before we go for the rapid fire questions? Because I think we went through a lot today.
Oh, there's rapid fire?
Yeah, man, it's a little fun rapid fire questions.
All right, let's go.
Man's ready.
Let's go.
If he's
Okay.
ready, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm fucking media trained, boys. Let's go.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Something
you have
like
to
that.
be.
Yeah.
You have to be. All right, my friend. So at the end of the show, for all of our guests, we like to do 5 rapid fire questions. They're supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be serious. So they're all going to be relatively something that you probably could answer pretty quickly.
Okay.
Are you ready?
How fast?
I don't know. How fast can you rap?
How fast can you rap? Yeah.
You got to rap the answers. How about
Yeah,
that?
there we go.
Or sing them. I don't know.
All
Whatever
right.
you want to do.
All right, let's go.
All right. Favorite singer or rapper?
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin.
Okay. Wow.
okay.
Shit. Okay. And do you work out?
Yeah.
How many times a week?
4 to 6.
4 to 6. What do you
Man,
do? Like
man lost 40 pounds, bro.
You lost 40.
I lost a lot of weight. When I moved back from LA, I was fat as fuck. I had a beard that didn't connect. I had tits. It was crazy.
I need to see a picture of this.
Bro, I was like sleeping with my ex, right? And this was like before I moved back, and I was at my fattest. And this was like during COVID or whatever. And whatever, we were doing the thing. We were having sex. And I was like, babe, we gotta stop. My chest like
Man,
felt
what's
like
happening?
somebody was sitting on it. And I was like, I got COVID. I swear I got COVID. There's my lungs are fucking. When it turns out like I was just really out of shape and fat. You know what I mean? I couldn't come to terms with it. But like when the pain gets great enough, right? Like what are you willing to do? You know what I'm saying? So I had to take care of that real fast. I was
That's
fat
funny.
boy. I was a big fat boy. I had stretch marks and shit.
Dude, I could not see you like that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
I can't either. But I was fat boy for sure. Which is like fine. Like if somebody else is comfortable with their weight being like that, that's great. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not one to fat shame or body shame anybody except for myself. I was a fucking mess.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
So yes, I go to the gym.
Cool. What's your favorite venue that you performed at?
Favorite venue?
Yes.
The Rave in Milwaukee. The Green Room is this giant fucking pool. It's super haunted, by the way. The Rave in Milwaukee is super duper haunted, right? But like I said, the Green Room is this giant fucking pool. Like it's abandoned, and all the walls have autographs from everybody that's played there. So you name it, they're on the fucking wall. Like Tupac signed that fucking wall.
Oh, damn.
I signed next to him. You know what I mean?
That's-
Tupac's on that wall. Fucking Alice in Chains signed it. Like everybody you could possibly think of. You ever see that picture of the Mac Miller signature, and it said like, Mac Miller was here, I died, and now my soul haunts this place or whatever. Have you ever seen that picture?
I think so.
That was in the fucking pool.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's probably one of my favorite venues for sure. But in Boston, Middle East, it's fucking grungy. It's shitty. It's perfect. I love it.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
What's your dream collab?
Fuck. Frank Ocean.
Oh, dude, you got the Marvin Gaye and Frank Ocean. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you have a style. Is this from?
Probably Frank Ocean or Tom York from Radiohead
Okay. Wow. All right. Fair
or
enough.
Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails.
Damn. Okay. Now we're just completely off the.
I'm all over the place.
You're
I
on the
listen,
other
I
end.
listen to everything.
That's cool though. I like that. That's awesome.
All right.
And then the last one, the most important one of them all. And if you get this wrong, everyone's gonna hate you for it.
Okay.
Ass or tits?
Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh. So here's the thing. It depends on who it is, because some girls look like fine and they got like big tits, and other girls they look great and they have a big ass. it's not a one size fits all type thing. Like I love it both. Serious.
My man Taurus, he needs to have both.
It depends.
both.
It really depends. You know what I mean? For sure. Ass.
It really depends, but ass.
Yeah.
Have
Good
you ever
answer.
signed an ass for tits before?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Many
That's
times.
Funny. That's funny.
For sure.
It's like a weekly thing, probably.
Yeah. The weirdest thing I ever signed though was probably a deer skull.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Deer skull.
Yeah. Yeah. A deer skull.
Well, at least it wasn't, a dick.
I've signed a dick. No. Do you do the long way, or do you like stretch it out and do it the long way, or do you do like around? You know what I mean?
I would assume the long way.
Or do you do the balls too? Or do you just leave that blank?
No, you definitely leave that blank.
Okay.
I'd hope so.
At that point, you're doing too much.
At that point, you're just overthinking it.
All right. You never know, dude. I gotta be ready. Media trained.
Oh yeah, of course.
There you go.
Definitely. All right, my man. Thank you so much. Those were just the rapid fire questions. Like I said, they were fun. Pretty fun,
100%.
But thank you so much, Justin, for
Dude.
being here, telling your story,
Of course.
being here with us, because you were a great guest. You gave a
Hi.
lot of great nuggets.
I know it was
today.
last minute, too, so I
It
appreciate
was
that.
last minute. So
I was
thank you
ready,
so
dude.
much. Thank you so much for being
What we
here.
do.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. PB strong over here.
Perfect.
978.
For sure.
Nice having it.
978.
Do you want to give everyone, after eating your ice, do you want to give everyone your socials? Well, after you're done eating your ice. You're an ice eater, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can find me everywhere at Justin_Clancy.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Justin. We appreciate it again.
Perfect.
Vinicius, do you have anything else to add before we close the
I
podcast?
think that's it.
Awesome.
Closing statements. No, we good?
I'm
Nope.
good.
All right. Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
We gonna